Hi guys, it's Natalie Elphinstone here, and as per request I'm going to show you a bit of a walkthrough of my journaling Bible and some of the pages that I've done, and maybe show you a couple of techniques or things that I've learnt along the way. Now I haven't sort of pre-prepared anything, so I'm just going to show you what I sort of come across. Number one, I really need to do this page, but all that blank space kind of daunts me and I really want it to be something special, and that's therefore why I haven't done it. This one right at the beginning was my very first entry. If you can sort of ignore the bleed through on the back, it's just this simple little tag here and the little stamp. And that was simple beginnings, but you know, it was just a matter of trying to get into the Bible and start putting stuff down and start adding colour. And then something like this happens where it's a big explosion of colour, and obviously that was a little way down the track. One of the free printables that comes with the Illustrated Faith newsletter, I've just printed it onto vellum and made it a different colour and stuck it in with washi tape. I let my kids draw in my journaling Bible as well. I let them do things, and I always make sure that I've got a little tag with their names on it, and do the date when I do that. This is another kid one where I've got a little flap for that star embellishment that Bethany's done. And again, I know it's Bethany because of the tag. Just little bits every now and then, or even just, you know, I've highlighted things. A lot of stamping and pen journaling is what I do a lot of. The stamping, of course, because it doesn't add any bulk to the Bible. I use the Illustrated Faith stamps quite a lot. Like this one here is from the Be Brave and Bold stamp set from one of the devotionals. Again, another page that I've let Mariah do where, like, literally she's just filled it full of Frozen stickers and she's drawn her own Olaf down here. And obviously Frozen doesn't have anything to do with the Bible, but I let her do this sort of thing because, you know, I think it gets her into the Word, whatever she's drawing. I get to talk to her about the Bible and what the Word is saying to her, and we try to find a relevant page. Sometimes depends what she wants to do. If she wants to add Frozen things in there, I haven't quite figured out a verse yet for her to do Frozen. I quite often add obviously the flat sort of embellishments, like these cardstock die cuts are really easy as well. This was one of my early pages as well, where I first did the stamping, I really noticed obviously that it goes through the back of the page, and in fact on this occasion I made it so wet that it even marked that page. And I learnt from that perhaps you should put a scrap piece of paper down in between, so that yes, it's not going to stop it from going on the back of the page, but at least it's going to stop it marking the next page as well. Another printable. Nothing much in there. Similar things, pattern paper that I cut stuff out of and stick in. Anything that's flat, basically. You've seen that one recently, stamping and colouring. It's always nice when you kind of come to a double page, and I don't think that I did these ones at similar times because it was going through one of the She Reads Truth devotionals before Illustrated Faith came out with the devotionals. Not that you can't do more than one at a time. And so they don't exactly match, but they kind of go together. They're both colourful, and I guess that's my style in general, is to add a lot of colour. One of the occasions where I've added paint to the Bible. Obviously lots of the girls on the Illustrated Faith team add lots of paint, and I've done it from time to time, but I've kind of learnt that it's not really my style. I kind of prefer just to keep the colour in the margins and keep the word reasonably clean, if you like, without all of that paint on it, but that's just me. something more like this, where I've just sort of kept it on the margins. And even though that's, you know, that's got lots of colour in it, lots of stickers. These are all the alpha stickers are from the Bella Boulevard Illustrated Faith Genesis collection, and these little labels as well. But I haven't covered the rest of it, and that's what sort of I prefer to do. Another bit of stamping from one of the devotionals, the very first one, that C.D. McCuskey designed. I really love that stamp set, and that's one of the times where I've used it there. Another double page one, again, you've seen this just recently on the blog. More pattern paper, lots of pattern paper on that one, and then that's got stamping on it. This was my pop-up page where I put in all of those little flaps, and maybe you could even write stuff on the back for more space to journal in. Die cuts that I've used my dies for, and these ones are actually chipboard die cuts, or chipboard, you know, embellishments. On this page I've added in this pattern paper sort of flap that I've just again stuck in washi tape, and I'm going to use that space to sort of journal or embellish about this Psalm 91. Now the reason that I added this flap rather than journaling directly onto the margin is because, as you can see, it's got a lot of sort of bleed through from the page on the back, which is sort of full of colour and stamping and all of those fun things. And that's sort of one of my solutions, I guess, to the bleed through problem, is to then put paper, stick stuff on rather than writing or stamping on that side. And so I don't really make any effort to stop the bleed through from happening when I do a page. I really am just about having fun and enjoying the process and using it as a worship. I'm not worried about what products I'm using and whether or not it's going to show on the back, because, as I said, I figure that you've got solutions like this. To be honest, I'm probably not going to journal every single page in this Bible. So, maybe I'll never journal Psalm 94, and so this bleed through won't matter at all. So I guess I'll just take each page as it comes. You've seen that one as well. This is my most recent one. That's where I'm up to. I tried something a little bit different for me by actually drawing an embellishment. I am not an illustrator. I literally looked up some pictures to copy to draw that on there, but I really wanted the gates in my Bible, and I wanted them big, and I didn't have a stamp that was adequate for my needs, so I drew it myself. And then I've used all the Genesis collection stickers here as well. So that was something a bit different. I just have fun and experiment sometimes. These were my gelatos that I used on this occasion, and this flower that Mariah actually drew on a piece of paper that I've cut out and stuck in there. Lots and lots of alpha stickers. Lots of stamping. You've seen that process video. Oh, this is one of my favourite pages, and I did this one, you might have heard this story, I did this one when I was in hospital after I just had my baby, and it's even got the little baby name tag stuck in there as well. And it's all about why we chose Judah as a name, and how this verse in the Bible sort of got me through the labour, and that's what I really wanted to then journal about when I'd obviously come through the other side of it. Trying different things, some lettering, which again I am not called to do. It's not my thing, but I was experimenting on that occasion. Here I've got some gold paint, and can you see the stenciled in stars there on the background? I've just used some whipped spackle for that page, one of my favourite products to use through a stencil. A lot of space here. Stickers. More pop-up houses here. Again, combating the bleed through with some pattern paper in that margin. More little bits and pieces. Sticking some tags in, and yes, I sew them into my Bible as well. I've sewn that one directly in. Lots of just pattern paper in the background there. It makes it quite sort of heavy. That's okay. Fruit, and coming to the New Testament, maybe again I could do something fancy there, but because I don't know what I'm going to do, I've just left it. Stamping. More of the journaling cards, which I've made really big on this occasion. Lots of stamping, more journaling cards. Obviously, so I've got some favourite techniques here, sticking in the free journaling cards that come in the newsletter, because I like them. I always think that Shana and the rest of the team design these really nice cards, and so I really want to stick them in my Bible, and they're pretty by themselves without having to do very much to them. And then I tend to add some embellishments, really just to add my own personal touch. I've added some stickers on that one. Some little embellishments on the side there. Clean and word-based entries is probably the mainstay of what I do. Stuff that doesn't always go as you planned, but I learnt stuff. I learnt some things by making that mess on that page. This time, that's one of the journaling cards that I actually then shrunk down and cut out to stick in there. Stamping. Another tag, this little flap here. You've seen that video as well, it's on the blog. Just simple little bits. It doesn't always have to cover the whole page for me. Mainly it does, I guess, but sometimes it's just little bits, little embellishments. Sometimes it's lots of words. Sometimes it's the two pages that come together as one, like I did this first, and then on a whole nother occasion when I came to do this verse, and it happened to of course be on this opposite page, I kind of made sure that I did it in a way that was matching. So I've used the similar colours, the red and the blue, to then match the red and the blue on this page. And I don't think that they have to match, of course. More little flaps. So that flap, as you've seen, wasn't about writing anything underneath, but was just making sure that I could read the word underneath. Just little cute things. Back to my stamping, little vellum. Again, vellum is good because you can kind of even see underneath it, so I don't necessarily need to make this flap, but just to make it easier on myself to read what's underneath it, I have made that a flap. And I think that is it. Oh, I've done the very last page as well. So that's where I'm up to in my journaling Bible. You can see that I've done a few pages, but there's so many more that I can do. And yes, it's making my Bible a bit fat, but that's okay. I don't mind that. I'm not planning on putting it in a bookcase anytime soon. I plan on having it out, so to me it doesn't matter how fat it's going to get. I'm just going to enjoy this process. Thanks for watching this video all the way through to the end. Sorry it got a little bit long here, but maybe if you have any questions or anything that you want to comment on, then please just leave a comment in the on the blog and I will get back to you. Thanks for joining with me today. I'll see you again later. Bye.